Iraq's oil sector has huge potential, but there are big disagreements between Baghdad and Iraqi Kurdistan when it comes to dealing with international oil giants keen to tap into the country's vast natural resources. So what's the solution for a more efficient oil sector? Join us on Middle East Business Report here on BBC World News. Welcome back to India Business Report. I'm Yogita Lamai in Mumbai. In an attempt to reach out to the country's young and tech-savvy citizens, earlier this week, India's Finance Minister P. Chidambaram went on social media site Google Plus Hangout. He took questions from industrialists, economists and students about his budget and became the first cabinet minister to participate in a video conference on such a platform. It's another sign that politicians are increasingly trying to engage with the growing online community, as Shilpa Kannan finds out in Delhi. Going virtual to connect with India's growing internet users. The Finance Minister P. Chidambaram went online to take questions from young students, analysts and even farmers about his budget. Indian industrialist Anand Mahindra also joined the discussion.
Or you could say there was in fact a big bang concealed inside your budget, we just weren't reading the signals correctly.
No country in the world that I know is talking about a big bang.
Many took to other social media platforms such as Twitter to give their opinion on the Finance Minister's online outing. While some questioned the policies in the budget, others wanted more allocations. Only about 10% of India's 1.2 billion citizens use the internet, but it still makes India among the top 3 internet markets in the world. With general elections approaching next year, politicians are increasingly feeling the need to get cyber savvy as a way of connecting with the younger generation of voters. The opposition Bharatiya Janata Party have been early adopters of technology such as social media sites to get their views across. Gujarat's Chief Minister Narendra Modi even used 3D holographic technology and satellite link-ups to address a wider audience during his state election campaign.
So essentially what you're now seeing is politicians are waking up to the fact that the large numbers are already directly addressable. They're not going to cut down on TV, they're not going to cut down on print, but they're going to add a heck of a lot of digital, because that's really where the action's moving. So this election you will see a lot more digital media come into play. The BJP has a team of 30-40 people. The Congress, I understand, has put together a team of 100 plus. But the real big ones will be the 2018 elections, and those will be pretty much the big inflection point for social media and politics in India.
While internet penetration is small, the number of users are rapidly growing, dominated mostly by young people. With elections slated for next year, it's a huge vote bank that politicians can't afford to ignore.
Yeah, please do.
I met up with Rajan Anandan, the head of Google in India, and began by asking him just who were the users of internet in India.
What's interesting about the users, about 70% are below the age of 40, which means there's still 30%, in this case almost 50 million Indians above the age of 40. So it does reach, I think the fact that it's only a youth-focused medium isn't correct. It is expanding beyond the youth. But the other thing that's very interesting in India is that 45% of the internet users come from towns with less than 10 lakh people, basically towns with less than 1 million people. And as in India, as you know, we have a large number of our population that actually comes from smaller towns. So both in terms of demographic, but also in terms of geographic reach, the internet has reached, very, very small towns in India.
But what about India's censorship rules for the internet? Do you think there's enough clarity on the regulations that Indian government uses? And do you think there is anything more that India can really do? Are companies ready to have a web regulator?
It's fair to say that more clarity when it comes to the internet environment, I think would be a lot better, right? Because when there isn't clarity is when there can be misrepresentation. But what I can say is I think the dialogue is progressing pretty well, and we are confident that as the largest democracy, we will work through these set of issues that we have for the industry. I mean, these are a set of very important set of issues for the industry, and we are working through them.
Why is it that Google hasn't really focused on hardware in India? Are we going to see the rollout of Nexus tablets or low-cost smartphones soon?
Primary focus we have when it comes to the hardware ecosystem is to work with our partners in India, in the Indian ecosystem, to make computing very, very affordable, right? How do we make smartphones not just better performing, but also much more affordable? How do we make tablets? Tablets will be the first computer, right? In a traditional computing sense, not from smartphones, will be the first computer that most of India will use. Our focus really is around how do we make computing affordable and scale that across a large number of consumers, which is Android and an open ecosystem.
Finally, what's ahead for Google in India? How much does your India operations contribute to your overall company?
As per McKinsey's latest report that they published with NASSCOM, by 2017, India will have 500 million internet users, right? So clearly we're looking at a very large internet market that's going to be gigantic and bigger than the US, right? So you could imagine for a company that is centered and focused around the internet, this is actually a very big deal. So a lot of what we're doing in India now is cutting edge. We are contributing back in terms of best practices and so on and so forth that the world is adopting. But also, we're building some very interesting products that hopefully we'll be able to talk about soon.
Transforming an idea into an enterprise requires finance, and this can often prove to be quite challenging for first-time entrepreneurs. With little collateral and a limited track record in business, traditional routes such as bank loans may not be easily available. In India, a growing community of investors is helping startup ventures get off the ground. And in its budget, the government recently unveiled a handful of new measures to encourage entrepreneurship. From Mumbai, Adrian Murray reports.
E-commerce, a growing market as fast-paced as it is crowded. The team behind Purple.com, an online beauty and grooming platform, believe they stand apart from the rest, offering beauty-related web content as well as products.
So I think what's left is...
Manish and co-founder Rahul Dash financed Purple.com with money that they'd saved up, before friends, family and former colleagues also came on board.
Both of us actually were very interested in the internet space in India. We were looking at opportunities. Given my background of investing in the internet space, I always knew that it was taking off in India. We had to choose a category that we wanted to focus on. We realized that beauty and grooming as a category was at an inflection point in India, and we knew that it would take off.
Now the company is 15 months old and they want to scale up to the next level.
Just personal care and grooming. That's it.
And so they're looking for financial backing from angel investors. These are typically wealthy individuals who, in return for a stake in the startup, invest between $25,000 to $1 million at a very early stage. They also act as a mentor to the business.
When we started 6 years back, there were only two angel group. One was Mumbai Angel and second Indian Angel. But over last couple of years, many other angel groups, many accelerators, many incubators, even many seed stage funds have come up. So relatively, I think it's far easier for startups to raise money in case they have good team and a good idea.
Business incubators like Sign also nurtures startups. Most are linked to universities and business schools. It might not look like much, but behind each of these doors is a team of young would-be entrepreneurs working hard to turn their ideas into a business. At incubators like this one, startups get access to expert advice and resources to help get them off the ground. Now a profitable venture, ThinkLab is one alumni from Sign. It delivers hands-on learning tools such as robotics and science experiments to more than 200 schools.
So when we started ThinkLabs, our idea was to create this robotic kits, science experimental kits and all, but we had no idea about how to take them to the market. Okay, what should be the approach? So when we came to the incubator helped us in basically fine-tuning the whole idea. They also helped us in thinking like how to create this idea into a business venture. So for a business venture, you just not need an idea, right? You need things like HR system, you need account system, you need other legal advice on various things.
Getting funding such as traditional bank loans is hardly child's play for first-time entrepreneurs. However, a growing number of startup funds and groups such as angel investors and venture capitalists do offer investment. But to win them over, wannabe entrepreneurs will have to inspire confidence and show them they've done their homework.
Well, that's the end of this program, but do join us again next week. In the meantime, you can catch up on more business stories from across the region by visiting bbc.com/Asia Business. And for more India-specific stories, go to bbc.com/India. I'm Yogita Lamai in Mumbai, and from everyone on the team, thank you for watching. Goodbye.